Bobby, and I will be your guide for today. Today I am restreaming again. I'm going to keep trying to do restream because I'd like to invite the my Facebook FB, I was going to say, audience as well. So I am a channeler and a seer. I saw many things for the first 50 years of my life. My mum had exactly the same gift. If anyone doesn't know me, I've had some very, very extraordinary things happen to me. And literally 1 foot in this reality and 1 foot in the etheric reality all my life. I'm pretty grounded with it though. I'm responsible with it. And now, since I turned 50, I started to channel messages, the visions, and the experiences sort of slowed down, and I'm talking experiences outside of myself as well as premonition dreams, meeting elders that I telepathically communicated with, and all sorts of other things as well. So many stories. So now when I turned 50, they actually wanted me to channel instead, so that's what I'm doing. And I started doing this a few years ago. Now, that's a little bit of an intro for me. I have a school called AMAKEL. If you want to go join that, I am actually going live for the very first time on Monday. So I'll be able to actually talk to the Patreon members on that school. There is literally hundreds of telepathic games that I've created, and lessons and that sort of thing, but now we're going live. It's so cool because it was only a few weeks ago. If you follow me live, you would have known that I'd said, oh, I really want to go live on my Patreon, and then boom, they say, all of a sudden they bring up, oh, you can go live now on Patreon. It's like, yeah, exactly what I'm actually channeling is actually coming true, because I was channeling that we're the creators of our reality and so forth. Hey, Wade, good to see you from YouTube, and Cherie from YouTube as well. Right, we're going to get into this channel message. If anyone wants to book me one-on-one, the link is down below. Get that out of the way. What else is there? My new YouTube channel, Codes to a New Reality, is doing really well. I'm so excited. It's only been up there for 4 weeks, and I already have 89 people subscribed. Yay! So that's fun. I do have an interview coming up with an awesome guy. I'll talk about that in the next couple of weeks. And I think that's all my news at the moment. Oh, that's right. If anyone didn't see the video that I just put up, incredible coincidence that happened with me, because I was saying to my guidance, I don't know if I should do a video for the new channel called Hidden Codes to the Ark of the Covenant, because I didn't even know that the Ark of the Covenant was a religious thing. It was in the Bible and all that sort of stuff. And I usually don't go that way with my channelings. They usually come from, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, all to do with the new earth and the experiences. But they are like, no, you're the one, because literally when I was asking that sort of question, this really, really cool coincidence happened. I was working on the Ark of the Covenant on my computer, still feeling a hesitancy of whether I was going to do it or not, but I was still working on it. Put up Moses, because he was the one that created the Ark of the Covenant with the help of a couple of others, and started to get channel messages through about it exactly the same time. I get an Uber Eats call for a delivery, and on my phone, because I'm an Uber Eats driver. And then when that flicked up, it was actually to Moses. And I have never, ever had, well, as far as I remember, in the 10,000 deliveries I've done over the years, I've never had a Moses. So that was so extraordinary. In my face, you have to do this. So yeah, that was really cool. I had the actual full video of that experience up there as well, if you want to go take a look at that. Fun coincidence, or whatever you want to call it. It's a message. A profound message at that. So here we go. We are doing the Ark of the Covenant, and I am trusting all of the channel messages that are coming through, and I'll share them with you on my new YouTube. Okay, let's get into the channeling that we want to bring through now. I have written down a couple of things that they want to bring up on my phone, so I have that with me at the moment. Yeah, we're going to get into, there was this discussion that was happening within my head, and it was a discussion of what is real, the illusion that feels real, or the physical reality that feels fake. Because there's so much going on now in our outside world that is feeling fake. And there's a lot of stories coming up with AI images, and people are saying they're true and they're not true, and all of that sort of stuff. You know, you can't trust pretty much anything on the social media, but social media is how we actually expand our businesses. So it's really getting us to fine-tune ourselves into using our intuition at the moment. This is what this is doing. This is like, you need to be able to follow your intuition now and trust your intuition. So if you feel it's off, it's probably off. Sometimes it's because you have a blockage and you'll go, oh, that's not matching up with my reality that I want to believe in. That's different. But in any case, we will get into this. I will read out what I've actually put, because this is like a conversation going on in my head. And when I asked that question, what is reality? What's the importance of what's real? We really want to get to that crux of what's the importance now, especially since there's a lot of people that are coming forth that have gifts that are seemingly not solidified in this reality, premonition dreams and telepathic communications and stuff like that. And they're starting to come forth with, this is my gift. And so we're now going to have to redefine what reality really is as we go along. The answer they gave me, though, was both are relative to the person experiencing, and so both are as real as each other in the moment. And we're talking both as in, if you had a vision or a premonition dream or something etherical that was in your reality, opposed to something physically in your reality, what's real? Well, in the moment that that's actually happening, to the person experiencing it, it is real, it's reality. And that's, they went on to say, the moment one's reality is conceived and experienced means that both illusion and reality have an effect on you. It doesn't matter if it's solidified in reality or not, because it's all about the lesson or experience that the soul learns from in the moment it's experiencing. This is more important than what's more solidified, as being solid or not solid, or not as solid, takes form from the observer's point of view and vibration that in that moment. So I'll carry on. I'll go back to that. One's molding through any experience, both in the physical world and the etheric world, that develops into a much happier and more settled or calmer self, should mean that humanity needs to readdress psychology and the development of humanity, because the experience that somebody has in an etheric way, which has been poo-pooed so far, oh, you had a dream, it's just a dream, that sort of thing. Oh, you had a vision, oh, you're just delusional in that moment. But to the person, it could switch them into a much happier, profound person. Someone, they had a profound experience that makes them a lot more calmer within themselves. That's what we should be taking from it, not whether it's solidified in this reality or not. This is what needs to change in humanity's perspective of psychology and all of that sort of thing. Instead of locking people away because they've had experience, go into it deeper and figure out, is this actually making you a calmer, happier person? Are you actually finding a truth here within your soul or the experience that you're having? Or are you getting more darker and deeper, and then if we are going deeper and darker, how deep and dark do you want to go before you start to switch it up? And how can we switch it up into seeing it as an observer point of view of the experience teaching you something way more miraculous than going into going into, say, asylums and stuff like that, having to pop pills and all that to try to cover it all up. There's a reason why the person's having the experience, is what they're trying to say. I mean, I'm just giving you these channel messages. Obviously, the experience to each person is individual. Please don't don't say that I'm saying that, that's it. I have to go deeper and darker and all that sort of stuff. Go get help, go seek help and all that sort of stuff. But I just wanted to bring this to light, that there's something that's shifting within humanity's consciousness, because we are starting to develop more etheric gifts. And what that actually means to the understanding of humanity's psychology as well. I myself, they wanted me to go into, I myself have learned many incredible lessons. I've literally written this down, but it isn't me actually speaking, and had many wonderful experiences that will stay with me forever. And they have definitely changed my perception of the world that I live in. Experiences from dreams to visions, and what others might call etherical nonsense, if I actually came forth, I mean, and some of these experiences have been like stepping into humanity's potential into early 2000s, when I had a premonition dream of what humanity could step into, the feeling that came with that stillness of mind. And I do tend to bring this up quite a bit, because this is what I want people to reach to. It was one of my goals. Okay, I know where I'm going now. It was my compass. My mind was so still in that dream, and yet I was telepathic, telekinetic, everything in that dream. It was living in another reality. Felt so real to me. You could teleport. All of that sort of stuff was in existence. There was a clarity of myself, and that was my compass. So it definitely changed me. Now, why would you want to poo-poo that that experience just because it came from a dream? See what I'm saying? It shifted me into realizing, now I know where I'm going. And luckily I listened to myself and my own advice, because I had nobody else to talk to about the experience. Everyone else that I talked to about the experience would poo-poo it. So I actually went on this journey on my own for a very long time, until I've come forth on this channel, with these channelings. I've had quite a lot of experiences like this. There was the truth stone that I found. That was a physical stone that I wanted to find something physical, but in the end it came into me in meditations and showed me things, and then it went into my dreams, this actual physical stone. I've packed it away now with my gear, because I'm traveling around at the moment, but that truth stone came in my dream, and in my meditation first, and it rotated. There was a whole big experience that happened with this. There was like a funneling that came in one ear, and then it was telling me that it was going to teach me the truth, how to find the truth. Which is all relevant to the person experiencing that as well. But there is some things that are in our outer world that are coming across as the truth when you go into the feeling base of it. There's nothing really solidified of it. There's no truth holding it together. And my team would, like when I actually come across an actual magician, who really did show me some incredible sort of illusions, I was starting to doubt. Wow, I was like, wow, you're a magician for real? Like, is this for real or not? And I ended up going into a dream that the stone appeared, and then the stone started to teach me what was the truth and what wasn't. And it showed me, when it came to the magician, a advertising book. It morphed into an advertising book with lots of little holes in it. I'm like, oh, it's a big advert. It's not true. There's holes in this. So I actually contacted the magician, and I said, this is relevant to my soul's growth. Could you please tell me whether this is the truth or not? I promise not to tell anyone else or whatever. And he said no. But I'm not telling you his name, obviously. So no, it was fake. It was a fake sort of illusional thing that was pulled over our eyes. And yeah, so it was really interesting these things have actually shifted me, shifted my perception of what the truth is. I could then feel into what I was getting off it, where the excitement was coming from seeing it, and then overriding the truth of the experience that was in front of me, that it wasn't actually the truth, if you get what I mean. So we're now fine-tuning ourselves into what is the truth, what is real and what is not, through the experience of wondering what's meaningful in someone's life, something solid in our life or something etherical in our life. And both have relevance to the experience. That it is what you how you feel about the subject matter, whether it's the truth, whether your intuition is picking up that it is for real, and how are you learning from the experience of what you're moving through. Just wondering where they're going with this. Yes, so there's so many others. I've got all these other experiences. Experience of me going to Uluru, having premonition dreams before I went there, holding hands with the Cherokee elder that talked to me telepathically. All of these sort of things are relevant to my etherical lessons that have been gifted to me, and made me and molded me into who I am now. Now, if I had right at the beginning gone into, been taken away by a straitjacket or whatever, then I wouldn't have done all the growth that I had. So there is relevance, a switch. They're showing me a switch of humanity starting to realize it's more of the feelings we need to take into account. Are we raising ourselves into a much better frequency, a better, happier feeling through these experiences, whether they are solid, real, so-called real, solid, or etherical lessons? How are you feeling about this is the most important question that we need to ask. I think that some psychologists are starting to switch this up, but it's not as cutthroat as what it was in the past. So that's really interesting. Okay, we'll go into some of these other. I got so many messages here that I wrote through the week. One of them is, if your words aren't backed by your energy, those who are awakening will see right through you, which goes with what I was just talking about, right? So yeah, this is shifting in humanity's consciousness. If you haven't got any backing to what you're saying, if you've just been copying and pasting somebody else's experiences and taking them as your own, and you don't really feel it, you don't understand it from a feeling base, then other people will see right through that. Because when you talk to them, it'll be like blah, blah, blah. They won't feel into it. When you've really, truly had the experience, you'll be able to speak it, and the people on the other side should be able to get some sort of feeling base from it when they're open to it, because they're connecting to their intuition. They will feel into the story that it was given to me. I mean, all the information that I've been gifted has been coming from my help, my guidance, right? But it's a feeling. It's like they're showing like a transmuting energy that's hitting me, not just from a logical point of view. I switch the story from a feeling base into a word base. This is why sometimes we're trying to find the words to put in place of the actual message coming through, because it goes beyond the words that English has. There's no word for some of these feelings, but because I have the actual feeling, there's something that is transmuted into you guys that you feel it is. You could, if you're open enough to this, you could feel it just like I feel it from them. Then you can feel it from me as I'm gifting you the story, and you're like, oh, I felt. Sometimes you might have felt that feeling before. So, oh my God, I felt that feeling before. Now I have a story that goes with it that, say, for instance, I'm telling. So I have exactly the same thing happening with my guidance from, I'm always looking up as if they're up there, but they're actually within here. But I have this guidance that's happening within me from my own soul's connection that's connected to these other beings that I've been connected to, the Arcturians, Pleiadians, and the Cyanians, and they come together and gift me this understanding. We literally come together as one in this unique position, they're saying, and that's why it's hard to sometimes differentiate who's actually speaking. That's why I don't bring it up that much. Oh, the Cyanians are speaking. Sometimes it's like a oneness of the Cyanians, the Arcturians, the ones that I have, that I know about. My higher self becomes one with them, and then the message comes through, and it's an absolute. It's an absolute to me. It's like there's no bars hold. It's just, if I ever have a message coming through and I'm like, if I pull back from it, then I will let it go, because it has to come through as this absolute for me. Anyway, that's how I do it. Authenticity, this is a really good one. Authenticity isn't about being perfect or even being the best version of yourself. That's really interesting. It's about matching how you express yourself to the outside world with the honesty of how you feel about yourself in every moment. And I'm so glad that they brought that up, because there's so many people out there that think authenticity is a perfect life. Everything goes well for that person. Everything's, but if everything went well for myself, then how would I learn the lessons to be able to share with you guys, so that it's relevant to where I'm at in this moment of being able to share the lessons. So sometimes I'll pull my soul will pull myself into a lesson to be able to express it to you guys, so that you guys can, if you're going through a similar lesson, go, oh, now I get it. That can happen. So authenticity is more about the honesty of one's inner self value to the expression of one's outer value. So if I walk into a room and I am just being a little mousy self, and yet inside I'm feeling really powerful, and all these beautiful messages are coming through, no one's going to really listen to me because I'm all like this. But if I'm standing there and I'm like, I know who I am as I walk up to them, then they get this power from me of, there's that authenticity, but it's also matched by the messages that are coming through. Now, if I don't have any messages, I just, that's it. I have to be authentic with that. Someone asks me a question and I don't have any relevance to that. My soul hasn't gone on that journey. I don't understand that. Then I need to be able to bring that forth as well. That is authenticity. They also said this week, when one has forgiven self for trying to keep up with the pressures of this material world, one frees themselves into creating the very existence aligned with one's soul. I always say one, so interesting. This is where the real existence on earth starts, as this awoken person is a free person who chooses from the heart, aligning one with the feelings that create from love rather than fear. So there's a forgiveness that has to happen here. We all feel these pressures to be able to keep up. And when you feel a pressure, you create resistance. I do this quite a bit. And that's why they brought this message through. I have to really pull myself back, and because I had this Virgo mind that just wants to rush in and do everything and help everyone and send all the messages and think that I'm never doing enough and all of that sort of stuff. I'm trying to pull myself back and go, it's okay, you can relax. Feel into the moment and accept the moment as it comes along. That frees you up because you're no longer feeling the pressures. And that they were talking about forgiveness of oneself for in the past, thinking I have to be in charge of, I have to be above all this, I have to do more. There's a forgiveness that has to happen at the moment, because we want to free ourselves from the programmed reality that's caught us on a loop of having to work really hard. That is a very strong program in humanity's consciousness because of eons ago, the wool pulled over humanity's eyes of, we want them to be our slaves, we want them to be the worker bees, we want them to give us out their energy in a physical way. And so we were all programmed to physically work really hard, which exhausted us. And we just literally gave our energy, whatever we were creating, it ended up going to the mega wealthy, those that were pulling the strings. And we still do. But there's a forgiveness that has to happen here in humanity for the program to shift, so that we're no longer expecting ourselves to be showing up in a world of forever doing. That needs to be pulled back to the I am present and I am experiencing. And that is what my soul came here to do, experience the presentness of everything, and really be thrilled by the experiences, whether you are doing, you are resting up. And another thing they have brought up in the past is, even if you go on a holiday, you don't feel like you've been on a holiday because you're still running the program in your head that you're pressurized to do something to make yourself feel valuable. If you free yourself up, you will find more energy, value within yourself, and you will actually find the physical work turns into something you really want to do, a passion in that moment. You will get way more done because you're not leaking your energy into somebody else's reality that's causing you to deplete and not really be in alignment with your soul's mission, or what your soul really came here to do, which I call a mission. And that doesn't mean it's like a big mission, or it could be anything from learning to relax and enjoy being present on earth. That is a mission in itself at the moment, through the vortex of this friggin' physical programming, making everybody feel guilty if they're not doing. If you are one that's holding the vibration of relaxation and enjoyment and serenity to the world and the wonder and the love of it all, then you are bringing in new energy into humanity's consciousness to realign them. So you could have a mission of relaxation in this world. They're telling me that. See, and even me saying that, it's like, wow, people, we've been trained, oh, you're lazy. Well, that's the program that was pulled over us. What is lazy? If we were coming into our own authenticity, there is enough of us that are wanting to do the physical work, that feels excited to do the physical work, that wants to physically go out there and work on stuff. They're showing me someone who's going to a gym and wasting their energy to look good, where if they followed their passion, it could be relevant to the community, creating a community in a physical way, and still their body becomes the masterpiece that they were looking for. So we have there's a tweaking of oneself into what's really exciting me, rather than how am I showing up to the outside world. There's something going on there anyway. Yeah. I definitely want to bring up that feeling of that authenticity of oneself aligning with the soul. And it could be that your purpose is to be physical, is to be masterful in building, actually doing the physical things and creating something in the physical world. That could be your mission. But you could be stuck they're showing me you could be stuck in a office, and yet you've got this passion or desire to have something physically fit, you be physically fit. So you go to the gym, you work out, you come back and you do the mainstream work that's keeping this other reality work, and you feel like you're doing good, but you never feel that sense of a community, physically working in the community to help, that it's not aligning with your soul. So yeah, and when we shift to that, we move away, you'll find there's enough of us that are here in the present moment to do, because they enjoy it, the physical work, and enough of us to do the etherical work, and enough of us, it's all relevant to the tapestry of humanity's consciousness coming together and creating. And there's a trust that happens here. And when we stop judging each other for the position that we've been brought into, because if someone is happiest, that is enough. The happier you are, isn't that bringing something beautiful to the world, whether you are physically doing something or you are pouring love out into the world and seeing love come back as a unique position in this reality, holding a vibration of that serenity and finding new etheric values to oneself as well. So there's a lot of these profound messages are coming through about our authentic self isn't exactly what we thought it was. It could be different, but we have to forgive ourselves for what we have done in the past for us to come into this. Because in forgiveness, you can let go, and then you can step forward into what am I really passionate about? What really excites? What gets my heart so excited? And that and the creation of that will bring in the abundance in return, because you following that means you will find the others that are knitting together in the reality that you're creating. And some will be more physical than others, but there is no judgment between. It's like the feminine and the masculine, you know, feminine is here to nurture and birth and give creation. The masculine's here to solidify and bring into this world a physical way and gift the feminine a place to feel safe in. And also merging the two becomes beauty. So there's all of that coming together, togetherness that happens. But if we're judging each other for not being who you are or what the program has said you should be, then you are stuck. You won't find those people, and then you'll say to yourself, by following the program and being stuck, that would never happen. You know, there's no faith, there's no trust in oneself or one's journey or one's mission, if you want to call it that. See what else is coming through as well. There's okay, there was another message that they brought through on my phone, and I just realized it's relevant, so we'll read this out as well. Be your own conduit to ground your utopia on earth. Trust in your own vision of how you would love to see your life next. Next, imagine, this is how they said to do it. So, yeah, be your own conduit to ground utopia on earth. And then they said, trust in your visions. Yeah, okay, they're telling us how to do it. Next, imagine all the people you want in your life as a part of that experience. Because remember, you're your own God's self. You create your reality. And we're always worried, oh, that person won't come with. But when you imagine them like seeing them as that value of coming into your reality, then they have an opportunity to come in. I'm not saying that you can control them, but there's an opportunity there that you're gifting them to become that. And so you're helping them lift their vibration. And the same with them will go with them when they step up on a step and they see you as this beautiful, magnificent person in their life. then you're kind of like helping each other. Whenever you can take a moment to imagine what this would feel like, please take that moment and watch for signs, even small signs that turn up in your reality that give you pause to know you are cracking through the mind program and into a new reality. Ask to be shown more, because the more signs, the signs are relevant for the logical mind to get its attention, and logic is the thing that grounds things. So when it starts to agree with the imagining of that's coming through that feminine etherical mind or the imagination, when it starts to agree to it, starts to seek with the etherical mind together, seek the outside alignment of that coming into your reality. Trust what turns up is something you have shifted. By shifting your thoughts and feeling to be aligned with this new reality, you are now stepping into becoming the creator instead of a follower. So this is what we're learning to do in this moment, become more authentic. Excuse me, when I burp when I'm channeling sometimes. Become more authentic and come into one's presence of awareness of what you are focusing on, rather than what's outside you having more power over what you are wanting to bring in. So your imaginings could be the more important if you're trying to change the story. And then if you want to ground it, then it comes into the actions, what you want to do, what you actually physically want to do to bring this in, like ringing up that person, contacting that person, or actually physically building the thing or the structure, or coming into alignment with people that will build it, or that sort of thing. That's grounding it. So first of all, to change or bring in your utopia, you need to have your imagination flow into that, what you would love to see. And they're saying it's not just seeing it, it's feeling it. Feeling the experience of it already happened to you. When you get into that zone, then the material world folds in as a magnet. It's magnetizing, but it's actually an alignment of frequency. It bends to you, and so then that will come in, and you will see these signs. First of all, could be just little signs, and then they want you to use those little signs to build on. Oh, I see a sign, let's build on it. It's like building something in a physical way, but you're building it in an etherical way. So you're seeing your reality start to match the vibrational of the utopia you want to ground. And this is all relevant to your story. Your story is important. So it's very relevant to who you are as you move through this. Then somebody else will have their own utopia, another person have their own utopia. But remember, utopia is something that we are wanting to ground into this world that makes us the happiest, most peaceful, most, the most abundant, the most adventurous, whatever it is for you, the words you want to use for your utopia. And then, so feel into them as much as you can. So we'll get sucked into the program, and then they're saying, feel, if you catch yourself and you have a moment of that you can feel into it. Do that as much as you possibly can. See the signs come up. Ask for the signs to show up even more. Oh, I see that now. That's your logical mind saying, wow, that's a weird coincidence. When you say, wow, that's a weird coincidence, it brings it through as something to your logical mind to really take a seat back and really acknowledge that you are bending your reality to create something new. It's in those aha moments then that your logical mind will go, now I know how to ground this. because it's showing up in your world. And so then you're in the vibration or the meat for you to have an inspiration to do something in a physical way. And your inspiration takes over rather than the program that was poured over your eyes of how things have to be in a linear fashion. So you start to adjust your life to the frequency of that reality coming in. It's more important than the reality of the program that was poured over your eyes. And that's how you're shifting your reality. Yeah. Okay. Seeing whether there's anything else. Hey, Sky, good to see you, Celtic, from YouTube as well. I think that's about it at the moment. I'll see if there's anything else coming through. Yeah. Can't really feel too much now. I think that's sort of fading away. Okay. So I will be doing another message and using the tarot and the oracle cards and giving some free chat bar, free chat bar cards readings on Thursday. So look out for that one, and anything else that I come up with, I will share with you. Last week was full on. I literally had a video nearly every day, which was fantastic. So I'm going to just keep doing that. If something comes up, it's coming up. I'm going to go live. Or I'll share with you in a video. Yeah, so go check out my new channel, Coast to a New Reality. I'd love for you to be a part of that. It's little short messages, although it's about 3 to 10 minute long messages that are very profound, hidden codes that like information channeled through me, and bringing us all into a new awareness of how to approach life in a different way. And the next one, the Ark of the Covenant, although it's going more into that religious kind of a way, there's some profound messages that are showing up because of there's a definite reason why they're bringing this up now. So sometimes we have to go into the past to understand the present. And that's what's happening with this. So I'm trusting the game, trusting the flow, but I will definitely put a little snippet at the beginning that I am not religious and that sort of thing. So it might be a bit longer, a 10-minute video. So yeah, love you guys heaps. I think I will leave it here. Thank you for being part of this. Hey, Debbie. Good. Thank you for being part of everything. Yeah, we'll see where this goes next. Until next time. Bye.